The Chevrolet Captiva has matured into a well-rounded SUV range since first making its appearance in South Africa. It offers a decent mix of drivetrains with good dynamics, a nicely laid out interior and a lot of standard spec. The arrival of the turbo diesel model fills an obvious gap, albeit at a price premium. The Captiva is Chevrolet's answer to the South African obsession with sport utility vehicles. Since its arrival here in late 2007, the compact all-terrainer has become one of the brand's mainstays. The current model made its world debut at the Paris Motor Show in 2010 and was introduced locally last year. But turbo diesel fans had to wait another 9 months before an oil burner joined the lineup. On paper, the wait appears to have been worth it. The four-cylinder is state-of-the-art and is offered in conjunction with a 6-speed automatic gearbox and all-wheel drive in top-end LTZ specification only. However, it comes at a price that puts it in the same money league as the Audi Q5 and BMW's X3. The question is whether it's able to stand up to those premium products. The raised ride height, the wide tracks, the roof rails and the tailgated silhouette all indicate that this is your typical no-nonsense SUV. There's also no mistaking this identity given the dual grille and of course the bold bow tie badge. But all this bright work is going to be more eyesore than eye candy for some people. One could argue that the Captiva's bold identity rescues it from anonymity because the rest of the SUV's shape is formed by function and ends up at the generic end of the styling scale. Besides, the Chevrolet brand's heritage in South Africa is so well established that it has every reason to be proud of its identity. The bow tie badge is boldly displayed between the two grilles, while the lower apron and the integrated fog lights introduce an element of city slicker sportiness. The side view is dominated by the pronounced curve of the wheel arch extensions and the broad, low-mounted rubbing strips. Those perforated aluminium running boards may look good but compromise ground clearance. The wheels are 19 inches and look both attractive and rugged enough for off-road work, although the all-terrain tyres look better suited to tar than to dirt. At the rear, twin exhausts jut from a metallic-looking apron, while bold taillight clusters frame the tailgate. The latter opens all the way down to bumper level and has a rear screen that opens independently. There's more good news inside the Go Anywhere Chev. The Captiva's cabin is a comfortable and luxurious place to be. It has a list of standard features that will put most luxury passenger cars to shame, but it doesn't lose sight of the need for functionality and good ergonomics. Plus, it even has a third row of seats which cleverly fold back into the cargo floor. Those seats are generous enough to offer comfortable seating for kids or even gangly teenagers. Adults could squeeze in too, but the problem is related more to access than actual seating space. Getting to that third row is awkward. The other drawback is that the third seating row robs the Captiva of almost all of its luggage space, which means opting for a trailer or a luggage box when travelling 7-up on extended journeys. Those provisos aside, the cabin is attractively executed and exudes a robust sense of quality that promises longevity too. The switchgear is neatly arranged, the round dials are clearly legible, and the centre stack is home to the climate control, the trip computer display, and the sound system. Satellite controls on the steering wheel further enhance ease of use. The leather upholstery looks and feels upmarket, and the combined effect of the glossy dashboard trim and the metallic accents is attractive. Add all the comfort, convenience, and safety items you could wish for, and the Captiva's upmarket status is beyond doubt. But for some, what's under the Captiva's bonnet will be even more important. The real star of this Captiva show is the 2.2-litre turbo diesel engine. It bristles with technology, offering the likes of variable valve timing, overhead camshafts, and of course a variable geometry turbocharger. As a result, the power and torque figures are impressive: 135 kilowatts and 400 newton meters, placing this unit at the sharp end of the turbo diesel field. Those figures compare very favourably with the Audi Q5 TDI's 125 kilowatt and 350 newton meters and the BMW X3's 135 kilowatt and 380 newton meters. The 6-speed auto gearbox is smooth and refined with a well-chosen set of ratios that allow effortless progress. The Captiva rides on a revised McPherson front suspension with stiffer springs and a thicker anti-roll bar, while the 4-link rear configuration also gets tauter settings than before. The changes make for better steering response and improved composure. Because the Captiva tips the scales at just over 1900 kilos, it really needs every bit of power and torque the engine can muster. But fortunately, this is, as we've said, a powerful engine, and not only that, but the gear ratios are also well matched to the output. As a result, the performance quite sprightly, 10.1 seconds for the 0 to 100 and a top speed of 191 kilometers an hour.
The Captiva gets off the mark briskly. It cruises at around the legal limit in 6th gear with ease. Gears can be selected manually with the sequential action of the shift lever, but this is rarely necessary. GM claims a combined cycle fuel consumption figure of 8 litres per 100 kilometres, but realistically the figure is more likely to be in the low to mid 11s. The CO2 emissions rating comes to 212 grams per kilometre. Swap tar for gravel and the Captiva doesn't miss a beat unless you're starting to tackle the rough stuff. It has neither the ground clearance nor the low-range transfer case to take on obstacles or steep inclines, but the all-wheel drive adds welcome stability and traction on smooth to rough gravel. All-terrain specific niceties include an electric parking brake, as well as hill start assistance and hill descent control. At 178mm, the ride height is only average.
The turbo diesel powered Captiva has a lot to recommend it. It has a great engine, a slick gearbox, and a very comprehensively equipped interior. We also like the 7-seater layout, which will be of benefit to families, and even the bold appearance will get the nod from most quarters. In terms of value, this is not exactly a cheap car, but it probably represents a fair deal.
Yes, this Chevy is smart, refined, well-equipped and dynamically confident, but it isn't in the same league as BMW or Audi when it comes to tactile luxury or overall cachet. With all that standard kit, its winning dynamics and a versatile interior, the 2.2 LTZ diesel is easily the best Captiva yet, and more than a match for more obvious rivals like the Hyundai Santa Fe.
On paper, the Captiva's turbo diesel engine offers impressive muscle and shove with the cruising talent, fuel efficiency and range to match. It's also spacious and versatile with a list of features that is pretty much full house, but all those positives come at a price that compels the Captiva to play in a higher league.